What if I told you the next big thing in medical diagnostics wasn't some crazy billion-dollar invention, but was actually inspired by something you probably have in your house right now? Today, we're going to talk about a company called Medical Solutions System, and their story, well, it's pretty remarkable.
Okay, so it all kicks off with a question that honestly sounds like the start of a joke. What in the world does a robot vacuum have to do with the future of medicine? And the answer? Well, the answer is everything. And it's the perfect example of how the most game-changing innovations come from looking at everyday things in a completely new way.
Now, to really get your head around just how massive this opportunity is, we've got to take a step back and look at another revolution, one that completely changed our world by following the exact same playbook. Yeah, I'm talking about Apple.
I want you to think back to Apple, way back in the early 80s. See, their real genius wasn't about inventing everything from the ground up. Not at all. It was about seeing the hidden potential in technology someone else had already built and then having the vision to apply it in a way that would change everything.
I mean, it's a super famous story, right? The whole graphical user interface, the computer mouse. Apple didn't invent those things. They actually came from Xerox PARC. But Apple was the one that saw those complicated tools and said, hey, we can make this simple, we can make it intuitive, we can make it for everybody.
And this slide? Oh, it just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the original Xerox mouse. A brilliant concept, yeah, but super clunky. Then on the right, that's Apple's version, the one that basically launched the whole personal computer era. They took a tool for engineers and turned it into a tool for the rest of us. Remember that pattern. It's really important.
Okay, so why the history lesson on 80s computers? Because that exact same pattern, taking a complex, niche technology and making it simple and accessible, is happening all over again, right now in a critical area of medicine: gait analysis.
So this is the before picture. For decades, if you wanted to accurately measure how someone walks, which is a huge deal for diagnosing things from Parkinson's to predicting if an elderly person might fall, you had to rely on systems like this. We're talking expensive, specialized mats, stuck in a lab, and needing a ton of manual setup.
And get this, even the most standard tests, like a simple 10-meter walk, still come down to someone with a stopwatch and a tape measure. Seriously, it's slow, it's open to human error, and the whole process is barely changed in decades.
So what you're looking at here is a super important medical field that's just being held back by old, clunky, expensive tech. It is an industry just begging for its Macintosh moment.
And that moment, well, it came from an idea that was literally hiding in plain sight.
Check this out. On the left, you've got your standard robot vacuum, using a simple 2D Lidar sensor to map out a room. And on the right, that's the Medical Solutions System device. It is the exact same core tech, just totally reimagined. This is their Xerox mouse moment, repurposed for a multi-billion-dollar medical market.
And this quote from the founders just nails it. It wasn't about building a new sensor. It was just about flipping the whole idea upside down.
And here it is, the big idea. And it's so simple, it's beautiful. A robot vacuum. It moves its sensor around to map the walls that are standing still. But Medical Solutions System, they keep the sensor still and map the person who's moving. It's just a small change in how you look at it, but it unlocks absolutely everything.
And that one simple idea, that's what makes it possible to completely automate gait analysis. So let's take a look at the solution.
And this is it. This is the result. The Automated Gait Test, or AGT. This right here, this is the Macintosh of gait analysis. It's small, it's portable, it's self-contained. It takes a complicated, expensive lab test and puts it into a simple box that anyone can use anywhere.
So, how does it work? It's ridiculously simple. The patient just walks. That LiDAR sensor on the device tracks their every move in real time with incredible accuracy, automatically calculating speed, distance, all the critical stuff. No mats, no stopwatches, no guesswork, just clean, objective data right away. But look, the amazing tech is really only half the story. If you're an investor, this next part is where it gets really, really interesting. This is where the massive economic disruption comes in. This is the real opportunity.
All right, let's just put the numbers right next to each other. The old way versus the new way.
So the old tech, the stuff you find in fancy research hospitals, that can run you up to $1 million. That price tag alone has kept this kind of powerful diagnostic tool out of reach for almost everyone else.
And the Medical Solutions System AWT, it gives you the same or even better results for just $10,000. Now that's not just a small improvement, we're talking a 100x cost reduction. That's how you don't just compete in a market, that's how you blow it wide open and create a whole new one.
So you see, this is way bigger than just one product. This is about building the entire future of accessible, data-driven medical care.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Just like Apple took existing tech and turned personal computing on its head, Medical Solutions System is doing the exact same thing for medical diagnostics. The parallels here, they're not just there, they're undeniable.
So look, the tech works. The market is absolutely starving for this. The cost advantage is just unbeatable. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to invest in the next revolution?